to the nation. And for Ayurveda, I think this is also very nice that Rajesh Goel is from Natural Products. He is trying, and Vladimir has got this surpass softwares by which you know the properties, then you can combine. So it gives a big idea where it can be used and gives a scientific foundation to our Ayurveda. Our Ayurveda is very rich, but the point is that it is not that scientifically broadened. And for this, I think we need, one is, of course, the other aspect which should be also integrated into it is the quality assurance. The major fault of Ayurveda is that quality assurance is not there because the plant has to be collected, when it has to be collected, whether those constituents are there or not there. So what I would feel that in this field, it needs more people to be inducted, number one. And my other point is, in which I think we should, both India and Russia should collaborate, and that is a WHO plan of this health security, international health security. And in this, there is an action plan, national action plan for health security. It's called IHPS. And I think in this WHO is very much involved. And what they do, they see that how we can overall health security. So there must be good pathological labs by which a monitoring can be done for the diseases. People can be checked, they can be treated. So that works differently. I think in this case, not that we scientists, but I mean in India, other scientists or Indian agencies, they should come forward and find out that we should provide this national health security to villages, to others. So a monitoring is done and it is being planned. That means it is a kind of a prevention also. Those of us who know, I think they get themselves monitored. If the ladies are there, they go for every year for a mammography after the age of 35 or even 30. So the breast cancer can be checked. Similarly, if we are having our monitoring, cholesterol and other things, lipid profiles, liver function. So if we know what are the biochemical parameters, biochemical indicators, you can take the medicines and then you can be prevention from the heart diseases or other diseases. Similarly, obesity is one of the major problems. So if those can be done, I think there also we should collaborate. So these should be in a broader perspective. So far, we address the problem of healthcare for both the countries.
I actually completely agree with Professor Saxena regarding the strong side of India in organic chemistry. That's true. Also, pharmaceutical industry is emerging. Yeah, it's also true. In Russia, we also have a new program which is called Pharma 2020, in which significant investments are done to create some Russian pharmacologically active substances and push them to the market. But I also would like to mention another side of the international collaboration. Yeah, because in this time, as Professor Saxena mentioned, we are doing with big data in the field of genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, transcriptomics, etc. And my institute, Institute of Biomedical Chemistry, that formerly was belonging to the Russian Academy of Medical Sciences, but currently all academies were joined together, is taking part in international project which is called Human Proteome Projects. That's very important because in these projects the researchers compare the proteins which are expressed in different samples from biological systems, from healthy samples, from some disease samples, and then by comparison they try to identify what happens with pathophysiology, what is the basis of disease, what may be the markers of disease, what may be the potential targets. And as far as I know, India also taking part in Human Proteome Project. I don't know exactly the name of people, but probably from Bangalore, yeah, somebody is taking part. And this is also very important because it's a big international project which includes many countries, and it may help to find some new biomarkers, new targets, and of course then organic chemists, computational chemists should have and the possibility to find some new ligands for these diseases.
Yeah, I think it's very important, and we were discussing about this human health projects looking at the proteome. Somebody can approach the healthcare from a disease point of view. If somebody has a disease, they can try to see that how the disease can be alleviated. Alternatively, somebody can also look at from a health point of view, that if somebody is healthy or not, and how to improve the health of a person. So we had an interesting discussion by Dr. Chandrasekhar Desai from Pune, who was developing the GPS of health of a human being. That what is the present position of their parameters currently, and how that will be in the next 15 years from now, and then what happens. So that everybody will have their own GPS, where is that point, and as the data emerges, then one can try to look into this. So the idea is, again, if we have the information from the medical doctors, and if you are able to get these parameters, we can go deeper into the protein gene expression pathways, and then which are involved in a particular disease. But we can also try to look at from a health point of view, from an immunology point of view. Maybe that if you approach the healthcare from a health point of view rather than disease point of view, we may have some pointers to take from our traditional medicine, like VKP of Ayurveda and the Panchakoshas and other things that are there. So there is probably a strong need to integrate our traditional knowledge with modern medicine. So this is probably where we can, Russian and Indian scientists can come together and then work on these aspects.
Good afternoon. I would like to add some words about cooperation. I had a cooperation project with Rajesh Goel from Punjabi University, and I would like to light at the possibility of the use data and information from traditional Indian medicine, which has a rich history and use a lot of medicinal plants, which include many phytocomponents. And in our projects, we try to find new drug targets for treatment of vascular dementia, which is very important in both our country, in Russia and India, even more than Alzheimer's diseases. And cooperation in this field very important, because without information about phytocomponents, we cannot generate new ideas how to improve the treatment of many diseases, including vascular dementia. And I hope that in future Department of Science and Technology of India also will support something like our project directed on study of natural products and medicinal plant used in traditional Indian medicine, and it in future will provide some new finding which help people in all world, I think. Thank you.
Okay. And I would like to say a few words about some complementary studies. In Russia, tick-borne encephalitis is a problem in Siberia, which is viral disease, and the tick-borne encephalitis virus belongs to flaviviruses. And in India, dengue fever is also a problem, and dengue virus is also belongs to the same family of viruses, and they are very similar. So we can exchange data for antiviral compounds for dengue, which is luckily not present right now in Russia, and encephalitis, and because right now there are no single medicine to cure both dengue and encephalitis. So it's a very serious problem which should be solved, and it could be solved jointly between India and Russia.
Now I think it's open for the audience, so you can, if you want something to express from your side.
Thank you, Indian experts and Russian experts for the discussion on Indo-Russian collaborations in healthcare. It would be highly appreciated if you please focus some discussion on neglected diseases in India and Russia. Thank you. Some discussion, panel discussion on regarding this neglected diseases, how to treatment, how to treat the neglected diseases, and how to collaborate between Russia and India. Thank you.
So I mean to say, so I think one of the diseases I feel that the major disease at this time is for India is tuberculosis. But what is the position of tuberculosis in Russia?
Yeah, actually, it's also very important to find some anti-tuberculosis compounds because you know this resistance, multi-drug resistance, and of course, in the framework of our joint project with Dr. Sastry from Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, we have tuberculosis as one of priorities. So we just submitted a joint paper to SAR and QSAR in environmental research, to the proceedings of the CMTPI 217 symposium.